Hello, all my Sagittarius friends. This is Maxine Taylor, and I have your forecast for January 2022. I'm saying it a lot so that I create a new neural pathway for 2022. You have an awesome forecast. Can't wait to share it with you. Just got two things you might want to hear about. Number one, if I have not yet scheduled a session with you in which I help you discover your life's mission, you might want to go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and check it out. We all have a mission. We are doing it all the time. However, until we bring it to consciousness, we don't know what it actually is. I can help you bottom line it. This is done in a Zoom session, face-to-face with me. It'll open you up to how awesome you are. I highly recommend it. And for those of you who are just sick and tired of the same old story, kind of like Groundhog Day, you are ready for my Take Back Your Life session. This is a 3-hour face-to-face Zoom session with me in which I help you see your life story. That's the one that keeps playing over and over again. I help you see it, I help you release it, and I help you rewrite it. It can be life-changing. Most people I work with find that to be true. When you're really ready, you're off and running. It's a rocket ship, is what it is. In 3 hours, you will see in clear vision all the messages that you received when you were a kid that continue to run your life. And I'll show you a technique for getting rid of them. So, MaxineTaylor.com is the name of the website. All right, now we've got to go over your glorious forecast. Look at here. Oh, this area, it's terrific. All right, first of all, we know that Venus is retrograde right now. And when Venus is retrograde, it acts just like a Mercury retrograde. Confusion. And we do not start a new project under a retrograde Venus or a retrograde Mercury. If you haven't looked at my astrological overview for January 2022, check it out. I've gone into detail about the retrograde and the shadow before the retrograde, as well as the shadow after the retrograde. All right. So Venus is retrograde until the 29th, when it moves into the shadow. One more time. Mercury is in the shadow, and it will go retrograde on the 14th. Well, that means that we have a tag team going on. Mercury and Venus retrograde. As if one were not enough. We got both of them. We are not going to start a new project under a retrograde Mercury or Venus. And we've got both of them retro. What instead we're going to do, we're going to tie up the loose ends of unfinished business. Because this is the opportunity to rethink and redo what is incomplete. If you start a brand new project, like a job, for example, it either won't last, it'll fizzle out completely, or it'll have to be revisited within the coming year. Now, if you want a short-term job, you can definitely take advantage of it now, but you're not going to do anything that you want to be permanent or important in your life. Instead, you're going to look at all your unfinished projects, and you're going to select the one or ones that you can bear to work on, and you're going to finish them up. That's what we do on a retrograde Mercury and a retrograde Venus. So let's find them in the solar chart. All right. Well, look here. Venus, the pink planet, is in its own house, the second house of money and gifts and finances. And Venus is the lesser benefic, which means it brings blessings and it will bring gifts. It can bring financial gifts. It's terrific. That is what you want. Now, it's retrograde. And that may be why you're thinking, when does my pot of gold appear? When does the money arrive? It's arriving. Absolutely. Mercury, the blue planet, is flipping between the second house of money and the third house of ideas. First, it starts off in the second house of money. Yes. And Mercury is what we think about and talk about. It's not a doing planet. It's a thinking and communicating planet. Then it moves into its own house, third house, all kind of ideas. It goes retrograde, backs into the second house. So it's one of those hurry up and wait, which is very frustrating, I know. However, in February, when Mercury goes direct, and Venus is in the shadow of the retrograde, you will be able to think more clearly about what you want to create financially. And you have help. Look at here, Mars, the red planet. It's what we fight with and fight for. It's in your first house. That's you, the most personal house in the chart. And you're saying, I'm doing what I want, when I want, how I want, because I want. This is the house it rules. Venus is in the house it rules. Mercury moves into the house it rules. So these are very strongly placed this month. And so you're saying my way or the highway. It's my turn. And it is. It is. Now, on the 24th, Mars moves into your second house. And that becomes number one to you. Wherever Mars is number one. Mars becomes number one to you. And you'll fight with money, you'll fight for money, but with Mars in the second house, you create a flow of money. Make it, spend it. Make it, spend it. Venus is there to help, and so is Mercury. And the yellow planet, the sun, the center of our life, the giver of life, is sitting in your second house. You are creating money. The frustrating part is that both Mercury and Venus are in your second house. Hurry up and wait. But you got Mars moving in, and on the 19th, the sun moves into your third house, and you've got terrific ideas, wonderful ideas. And ultimately, Mercury will go direct next month in your third house of ideas. So be patient with the finances, all right? They're on the way. And then there's Jupiter, the greater benefic. Wherever Jupiter is, that's where you have divine protection, home, family, real estate. I would hang a sign on this house, home sweet home, because this is the area of life that brings you joy and brings you blessings. So are you thinking of selling your house, buying a new house? You don't want to sign a contract while Mercury and Venus are retrograde. That's the only holdup. And so your negotiations might be up and down. Remember, it's not you, it's everybody. We are all feeling this. Okay. The new moon, when energy starts flowing, is on the 2nd. And right now we're in the dark of the moon and energy is low. The new moon is when energy starts moving forward. It will be in 12 degrees of Capricorn. So find 12 Capricorn in your birth chart and compare your solar chart. This is your solar chart with your birth chart and blend the two. So the money picks up on the new moon. And the full moon, 2 weeks later, is, I can't read my own handwriting. Excuse me, guys. The 17th, in 28 degrees of Cancer. It's in the 8th house of joint finances, the 8th house of transformation, the 8th house of magic. And so your ability to help other people create financial wherewithal is at its peak on the full moon. If you have money owed to you, the full moon can help you collect. If you're waiting for answers, deep answers to questions, full moon, 8th house of secrets. I love it. I hope you do too. So you have a terrific chart. And as soon as Mercury and Venus come out of retrograde, things will move ahead a lot more smoothly. So now that you know that you're not crazy, what you're feeling is true, my blessing for you, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours, and a very happy, successful, abundant 2022 for you. Bye for now.